What is going on, Babylonians? It's me, Songs Arrays, here to talk to you about Evil West and the recent gameplay trailer that's dropped. Now in this video we are going to discuss 5 crucial details the trailer gave us and why you should be as hyped, if not more, than us when it comes to this game. Now some of these details were only seen for a short amount of time on the trailer, so we'll make sure you don't miss them a second time. But before we go any further, make sure you have dropped a like and a subscribe on the video. It really does help the channel out. And did you know only 19% of you watching are currently subscribed to the channel? It's completely free to do so, helps us out to be able to make more content like this, and keeps you up to date with all future content to come for the channel. On top of this, we are also partnered with Player Ammo, your one-stop shop for the ultimate energy and focus formula designed to level up your performance. Make sure to use code BABBLE at the checkout to save yourself 10% off of your order. And with all that out of the way, let's get right into it. Now, Evil West isn't your typical third-person action fest of a game. It's shaping up to have a bit more depth to the story in the enemies you fight, and no area more is this true than the sheer arsenal of weapons you'll have at your fingertips. Now, while the trailer did show off a bunch of these and talk about their individual strengths, it's not until we see the wall of gear that this becomes more apparent that we'll have plenty of ways to perforate and blow up enemies at our own will. Let's take a closer look at what we've seen so far, and then look at what the game hints at us getting. So first up, we get the revolver, a simple gun with simple mechanics. You spam for chip damage or to be able to deal with aerial foes. It doesn't seem to have any kind of stun lock capability like, for example, the Ebony and Ivory from Devil May Cry, but it does handle itself well enough to be an all-round contender. Moving into the big boy guns, we have the rifle, a Winchester type rifle with a more modern looking twist, designed for accurate shots and taking out targets one at a time. Unlike the revolver, this weapon rewards precision and aiming for enemy crit spots, shown to the player as flashing circles during combat. Unlike the revolver, this weapon rewards precision and aiming for enemy crit spots, shown to the player as flashing circles during combat. Striking in those spots will take most enemies down in seconds, so it is a worthwhile option for those that love being away from the thick of it. But what would a Western style action game be without a double barrel shotgun? All about the close range damage and turning your enemies into a fine paste. Well, Evil West has you covered with the boomstick, able to take out small groups of enemies in a single well placed shot. Nothing will quite match the sheer power this brings to the table. Even though it's double barrel, it does seem to fire both in the same trigger pull, so expect to be reloading very often. It also hinted on the game's social we will be getting a look at the flamethrower, pumping out some serious heat to take on the horde, or even focus fire, pun intended, on a single stubborn enemy. Whatever you're after, Evil West has a gun for every playstyle in mind. It's not all about the guns though, but we will cover that a little bit later on. What kind of weapon-based mayhem game would Evil West be if we didn't have upgradable gear? Well, fortunately for us, we don't need to find out, as each piece of the armory can be upgraded 3 times, and the game has a currency system to be able to buy said upgrades. What intrigues me, and we haven't seen just how it will work, is at the top of the screen are 3 categories of what I'm going to assume are weapon types, being similar to something, let's say for argument's sake, energy and runic, precision and explosive. At this time, there isn't much to confirm if my theory is right in this aspect, but it could mean we take one weapon and customize it into 3 different paths with different perks being available. For example, we see one upgrade for the revolver which puts a fancy looking muzzle on it, but has the upgrade of blaster, allowing shots to do more damage and ricochet into enemies, but the other trees could allow different upgrade paths. It could also be something different than that, and that we have 9 weapons in total and they are split into 3 categories, and these categories dictate the upgrade path they go into, but also give the user ease of finding the weapon you want to upgrade. Either way, this is pure speculation right now, but what isn't speculation is looking at the upgrades we got to see in the trailer, and these are not limited to the blaster for the revolver, as discussed before, the amp snack, which allows you to heal separate to your heal ability as long as you have a full battery, say cheese, which makes your crippling rod effect more efficient and last 20% longer, XXL bow for the crossbow, or the X-bow, allowing the magazine to increase by 2 more bolts, free bullet for the rifle, rewarding hitting weak spots for free ammo, and sticky sticks for the explosive bundle, allowing you to stick enemies with them and manually detonate, which sounds to have some insane combo potential. Either way, if you want to progress in Evil West and load up your arsenal as you proceed, you'll want to start saving those dollars as much as possible. Now, what good would the game be with just weapon upgrades if you can't upgrade yourself? Well, Evil West Perk System has you covered there too. While not much details have been dropped here and how it all kind of fits together, what we can tell you is that you can upgrade and unlock new melee combo potential by selecting perk points to be placed into 4 trees. Out of all the perks we have available, we've only seen the 4 being Bait and Switch, stops you being punished for dodge rolling in the middle of a melee combo and increases the blast damage of your next punch. Icarus, where killing a mid-air enemy has a 100% chance of dropping an energy pickup. Quake Punch, which is almost like a Hulk smash, allowing you to move distances and hurt enemies the closer they are to your impact. Just note this does seem to use energy as a resource to do this, so pairs quite nicely with Icarus to get that resource back. And Blasting Impression, which means your kickoff and hero punch abilities deal more splash damage to nearby enemies. While we haven't specifically seen the perks for these abilities, it's almost safe to assume they're some of the abilities we've seen in the gameplay with the rising uppercuts. Now, how the system seems to work is based on how many points you've spent before unlocking the later ones in the trees. From having a count, there are 7 initial perks to be able to choose from on the screenshot, 6 choosable and 1 locked at the bottom, potentially becoming free when all the others have been unlocked. Assuming this is correct, the perks with the number 7 to them should become available, allowing you to be able to progress further into the tree. Almost as if certain perks are gate-kept until certain points of the campaign. We'll see how this progresses, but did any of those 4 perks take your fancy? Now, what really took me back about the combat style was seeing full ground melee combos and ways to be able to juggle enemies in the air to be able to maximise damage while keeping the enemies off their toes to be able to hit you back. Now, this reminded me a lot of the combat style in Devil May Cry, and while I'm not the most proficient at being able to pull off slick combos in that game, I'm always been in awe of what you can pull off and how it all strings together. Through the use of the gauntlets, we can pull and smack enemies one-on-one or in a group, giving us the flexibility of taking on multiple at a time or intense single target damage on the bigger and badder enemies. Pair all of this with the weapons such as the revolver, allowing you to be able to keep enemies in the air to chain combos and pull off all those stylish combos you could ever dream of. What I did notice and instantly gave me the Devil May Cry vibes was going to be the gauntlet combos, where you stand in one place hitting the same enemy over and over, which clicked right away. It's just like the Beowulf Devil Arms, one of my favourite weapons made for that series. Just something about going ham on one enemy, blow after blow until they're finished. I hope there's more of that when the game does actually drop. I hope to see more combos and moves like that when the other gauntlets, and maybe we can see some different fighting styles from it all. Either way, I cannot wait to see the insane combo potential that some of the content creators will string together. I think we're definitely going to be in for a treat. And lastly, what tends to draw comparisons to this game and something like Doom would be the finishing moves available when the enemies get low on health. While we don't have the exact figures just yet, it's easy to assume it will be around the low percentiles, so looking closer to around about 10%, and allows the player to do some fancy and stylized moves to be able to finish enemies off. Whether we'll get rewards of ammo or health similar to that of Doom is yet to be seen, but having some rewards to be able to encourage the player using them throughout the campaign will keep it fresh and useful throughout the whole thing. As for the moves themselves, it does seem to vary based on the weapon equipped and the enemy used on, varying from pistol finishes to Superman punches that split them in two, and even a grab and slam straight into the ground. I'm definitely excited to see what total move pool we will have access to when the game drops, and either one will definitely be using these as much as possible. And there you go, that is it on the video. Let me know in the comment section down below what has got you hyped so far for Evil West. Is it going to be the perk system, the full range of weapon types available, or does the co-op aspect have you hooked? I'd love to be able to see what you think, so let the comment section down below is the best place to be able to let us know about that. Massive thank you for making it this far into the video, and to the Babbleonian family for their continued support. If you haven't already, come join us over on the Discord, where we talk daily with the community and love to hear your views on game titles. The link can be found in the video description. And with all that, it just leaves me to say, keep yourself safe, keep yourselves well, and I'll see you all on that next video.